Welcome, everyone. Sorry about the wait. No, don't jinx me, Valerie Winston. Okay. Don't jinx me. I'm glad to see everybody here. See a lot of familiar faces. I'm sorry there's a lot of you guys, so I'm not gonna go over everybody's name, but I gotta give my girl Terry K a shout out because she's doing fantastic work. Nicole H as well. Yeah, so we all know Nick Rekieta was on Ken's counseling couch earlier, and towards the end of the stream, he shared with us and then released a 1-minute video, and he shared with us the fact that that Michael Long, in fact, from not showing up to that court date, he has been in fact pretty much convicted and sentenced to go to jail. And this is really, really troubling to me. Because I'm really big on oh wow, Dory, thank you so much for the PayPal. I appreciate that. I really like my liberties and I really like my rights. And I just don't see how that is not an absolute violation of his constitutional rights. I just don't see that. Now, I mean, it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter if you're Team Kelly or you're just supportive of Sophie or you're Team Michael, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're proud to be an American and you're proud of being a human being, because make no mistakes, you being an American, your human rights are what your American rights are based on. That's what our forefathers were thinking of when they created our constitutional rights. What does a free man feel like? Or a free woman, of course. But back then, they didn't word it like that. But what does a human being who's free, what do we want? What makes us free? In a certain civil way for us to be with each other, a certain fairness, a certain judge lest ye be judged type thing goes on between us in a civilized society. We're not the only country that does it. And yeah, this does impact all of us. Absolutely. So on top of all what we already know about this Frisco County judicial system and what's going on in the family courtrooms there, on top of all of that, this happens and you're not suspicious. I mean, it's right here. It's right here in plain English, people. The court having found Michael Long not entitled to a jury. All questions of fact of law were submitted to the court. The court finds that Michael Long is guilty the following violations of prior court orders: failing to bring the child to the evaluation by Dr. Alexandria Doyle, June 7th and 8th, 2021, as ordered by the court in May 20th, 2021, and as reflected in the agreed temporary orders dated December 20th, 2021. So they're bringing up all this stuff from over a year ago. And to me, it just looks like some fancy little list of justifying taking away his constitutional rights. I mean, you cannot, you know what I'm saying? Like, this would require And one could argue this. This would require, now, on top of the fact that he doesn't get a jury, I mean, these are criminal charges. How is he not? If he's charged, how is he not Mirandized? How is he not Mirandized? Before he's even convicted, how is he not Mirandized to having the right to an attorney, to argue his case, to challenge the charges against him? Since when, how are these circumstances justifiable to taking away that person's liberties? That's what I want to know. Knowingly, these are things that he should, charge him with them. But it doesn't take away that doesn't justify taking his right to due process. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And it doesn't take a lawyer to do that. It doesn't take a lawyer to figure that out. Dory Munoz, thank you. Welcome. I mean, think about it. With all the stuff that we're hearing. And that's just the first page. That's just the first page. So it is ordered that punishment for each separate violation. Now, this is his conviction. This is his sentence right here. He's already sentenced, people. It is ordered that punishment for each separate violation is assessed at a fine of $500, up to $5,000 for each violation, and confinement in the county jail of Collin County, Texas, for a period of 150 days, not to exceed 180 days. It is therefore ordered that Michael Long is committed to the county jail of Collin County, Texas, for a period of 150 days for each separate violation checked above. Now, I think that when Nick Rekieta was on Ken's channel earlier today, they added that up to come out to, I think, 750 days in jail. Now, as I understand it, those are to run concurrently. Concurrently meaning that he doesn't, consecutively and concurrently are kind of the opposite. Concurrently means that they just run along each other. So it's just one of those that he's going to have to pretty much serve, but probably no less because it's so many of them. I'm only guessing. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. And so, yeah, 5 months. You're sentenced to 5 months in jail. Now, it's the county jail. Is it prison? Is it the penitentiary? No. But what's the difference? I mean, I get that it's harder. Sure, it's harder time for sure, but you're taking the man's freedom away. He doesn't get to come and go as he pleases. He has to wear scrub suits. I don't even think he's allowed to wear shoes. Right, 150 days, yeah. Now, how are we not supposed to think, with everything that we know so far, how are we not supposed to think that this is an intimidation tactic to keep them quiet? To be like, this is what we can do to you, and you can't do anything about it. We suggest you shut your mouth and walk away. With everything else that we know. With everything else that we know right now about these people working, we already know it's bias. We already know that they all just kind of commiserate with each other on a social level. I mean, I'm hearing rumors that people are getting shaken down. I'm hearing rumors that people are getting, that attorneys are being intimidated They're being threatened. There's basically, if these lawyers speak up against this, and what happens is there's a bunch of different complaints, a bunch of different ethical complaints go into this one person, and then their career's ruined. These attorneys are afraid to speak up because they're afraid that the career will be ruined. Now, I don't have proof of this yet, but I'm working on it. But I've heard several people in this situation mention this. Several people dealing with Collin County right now have mentioned this. People who don't know each other. Okay, so someone just made a good point to me. They said that also consider contempt charges are considered relatively minor. So that, coupled with overpopulation in the jails, which is nationwide right now, he may very well not serve more than 30 days. So, see, here's the thing: is my concern is not how much time Michael is doing, other than, it seems severe, considering, especially the fact that he was denied his right to due process to even have this on him. So I'm thinking, I mean, it's not so much how much time he's getting other than that, but it's more for me just the principle of the entire thing. It's making his argument stronger. Because again, people, I mean, they're treating this guy, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in the courtroom, they're taking it this way, but the thing is so far there's still no Amber Alert for Sophie, which now there probably will be. It might take now that we know this. As far as I know, Lisa, Sophie is with Michael. I mean, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything different. He posted that thing today saying that he was, going on their next adventure or whatever, and then quoted a Willie Nelson song. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, man. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know to what extent police are actually making efforts to locate them. So that seems a little off to me too. Like, is he dangerous or is he not dangerous? You know what I'm saying? And I can't get over. I mean, when I talked this morning or this afternoon, it was morning for me. Like, I mean, I was talking about how stupid it was for people to like go and do all this digging to find out about the artwork that they were standing in front of to pose for that picture, right? I mean, to do all that digging just to do what? To expose where he is. Okay, congratulations, you found that out. But what you also managed to do is, if the police all of a sudden, knowing what we know now, in lieu of what has been brought to light today by Nick Rekieta, in lieu of that, well, if the police decide to take this as seriously as any other missing persons case that we cover on this channel, well, guess what? You just gave him a head start, because law enforcement probably already knew where he was. Now they don't. Congratulations. Good job. Way to go. And I'm going to be honest with you people. If it gets to that point, man, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't sit here and morally tell you what he should or shouldn't do, other than in theory, because I have not been in that situation. I probably came close, but I have not been in that situation. And I got to tell you, I mean, if I'm going to stick to everything I said prior to this, I think obviously if this turns out where the police are taking him seriously as some sort of fugitive, because as far as we know, the capias warrant is exactly that still. But then again, we're looking at this document right here, and it's saying that he has to serve 150 days in jail. So if law enforcement just decides to execute this warrant like it's a serious thing, then and he's not cooperating, well, then that definitely puts Sophie in direct danger. And I can't get behind that. I just can't. I may empathize with him for reasons why he feels the need to do it, but I can't get behind that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Now, there is some sort of stipulation I'm hazy about. There is a stipulation that I'm hazy about. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't fully understand it, but I don't know. I'm not 100% if there's a stipulation where he turns Sophie over and he doesn't have to do the time, or he has to do less time. Right. I mean, if that's the case, yeah. But there is the slight possibility, which I don't believe, but it's still possible because we've never actually seen proof of it, that these claims are false. Now, I don't believe it. I still stand by everything I've ever said. I believe Sophie. Until I see proof of otherwise, I believe Sophie. Absolutely. Too many professionals I've heard say that there's no way that she was coached. Too many. This has been going on for a year. I'm pretty sure they're misdemeanor charges, Kristen Rushing. But they just decided to slap him with all these contempt of court charges. And this judge wasn't even appointed when some of these things supposedly took place. There was a different judge back then. I don't even see how a judge could even morally bring themselves to do that. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how a judge could morally do that. I could see someone being ordered to do something because their superior said, hey, get this done, and then you got to follow orders. I get all that. You know, I don't like it, but I get it. But for a judge, even to be like, I can do this, but you know what I'm saying? Like, for him not to be like, I can do that, but there's no way I'm doing that. This guy has rights. As much as I don't like the guy, he's got rights. Can't just throw him in jail because I feel like throwing him in jail. It sounds like a torture tactic, like a psychological torture tactic. That's what it sounds like. This is not a third world country where you could just throw somebody in jail just to scare them. Yeah, this is a clear violation of this man's rights. I'm sorry. It just is. Whether you like the guy or not, he has rights. He is an American citizen. The Sixth Amendment Constitution dictates this, plain and simple. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he still has to, according to this, if I'm reading it right, he still has to go to jail, whether or not. All right. All right. So, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. So in layman's terms, the Sixth Amendment guarantees the rights of criminal defendants, including the right to a public trial without unnecessary delay, the right to a lawyer, the right to an impartial jury, and the right to know who your accusers are and the nature of the charges and evidence against you. It has been most visibly tested in a series of cases involving terrorism, but much more often figures in cases that involved, for example, jury selection or the protection of witnesses, including victims of S crimes, as well as witnesses in need of protection from retaliation, which doesn't really apply here, or at least I don't see it being that way. What's up, Jinxie? Come on. Attaboy. So I'm just going to look at chat a little bit here. I mean, I don't see how this is not a clear violation of this man's rights. Like serial killers get the same rights. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who mutilates and murders and SA's kids has the right to an attorney. They have a right to an attorney. They have a right to a jury of their peers. 12 jurors, 4 alternates is usually how it goes down. I mean, what? Because this guy didn't show up to court? Because he believes that his daughter has been a victim of SA repeatedly, and that the environment that is trying to take him from his environment, are responsible for this. And yet a thorough investigation has never actually taken place. Isn't it fair to say that maybe they don't want 12 jurors to hear his story and see the evidence that he has? Could that be possible? Otherwise, what's the problem? Why not just give it to him? What is the rationale for turning this down? That's what I'd like to know. What is the rationale for turning this down? And it's not anything listed there. That's not, I mean, that's what you're charging him with. But that's not a right to take his constitutional liberties away. It's just not. His constitutional entitlements that were created by our forefathers to mirror our human entitlements. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter who requested it. I don't care about that. It's the fact that oh wow, thanks for the Cash App, Crystal. I appreciate it. It's not the fact that she requested it. It's the fact that it was granted. I mean, let's see. JLL, thank you so much. Not only is it a total violation of ML's rights, but if this happens, who will be left to protect Sophie? This is very concerning. Well, apparently the aunt. According to the court, the aunt. See, they got their whole scenario all worked out. Lock this guy up. He can't do nothing from the cooler. So, and plus, give him a little bit to think about. Give him 150 days to just think. If we can do this to you, what else can we do? Because that seems to be the motive behind these actions. For a judge to just be like, nope, this guy gets no rights. I mean, when I talk to the guy, I'm telling you, I'm not a mental health professional, but I don't think I'm talking to a crazy person. Is he wearing a cowboy hat and a bandana? Yeah. But he's in Texas. So, I mean, is he really spiritual? Does he talk a lot about spirituality? Yeah. A lot of people do that. Churchgoers do that. I mean, like, if this is really what you're basing him being crazy for, does he have delusions of grandeur? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's possible. I could see it. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying I could see it. But I don't see a guy who doesn't care about his child. I don't see a guy who's being abusive to his child. I don't see a child who looks like they're being abused. I don't see a child who is being damaged psychologically by this person. Now, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is somebody that willful? If you're going to brainwash someone that willful and that stubborn, like Sophie is, if you're going to do that, she's going to resent you at the very least. If you actually pull it off and get her to submit to your brainwashing, she's going to be aware of it. She's going to resent you. She's not going to sit there and smile and be happy and only want to be with that person. That makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hope that'll help. Because one of these judges was appointed by the governor. So no, I'm not going to yell at you. Just stop sending these super chats. see. If anyone in this chat has been where Sophie would understand why Michael is doing what he is. I mean, that's a matter of opinion, and I absolutely respect yours. And I'm not contradicting that opinion. I'm just saying, I just want to point out the fact that it is a matter of opinion. And I don't blame you for having that opinion. I mean, yeah, there's no justification for all of this. When you look at the grand scheme of things, you look at the big picture and everything that we know about this entire situation, there is just no way that this is ethical. There's no way. I just don't care what anyone says. You know, I thought of that a year ago. I thought of that a year ago. That's why I was hoping to make it as loud as possible. That was definitely his best chance. Well, it's not that the mother isn't deemed to be safe with her. Her boyfriend is ordered not to be around those kids, but he is anyway. But it's not that the court has deemed her to be unsafe. They are trying to, like, Sophie just won't go. That's the whole thing. She'll kick and scream, and she'll be adamant. And the last time that they physically tried to take her, she ended up hospitalized from yanking on her legs and her arms. So this is, you know what I mean? So what they're doing is they're giving her a little give, and they're going through a reunification program, supposedly. And in theory, I'm not against that. You know what I mean? Like, I think every kid should get along with their mom. Now, like I said earlier today, if everything is absolutely true about Kelly that Sophie is saying, well, no, absolutely not. Right. That's basically what Michael is thinking, guys. Yeah. That's basically what you know. That's not a neutral environment. You know what I mean? There's just no way. That right there, that's just not a neutral environment. I don't care how you slice it. But the argument there is generally, well, you know, it's family. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they would rather put the child with a family member that they're familiar with rather than a foster home. And the truth is, that's an economic thing. It really is. They told me that. That's an economic thing, that the state would rather put a child with a friend of the family, at least in Georgia. But the state would rather put a child with a friend of the family before putting them in the system, because that's another mouth to feed for the system. Somebody's got to feed this child. You know what I'm saying? So the system doesn't want that. The system is like, nah, man. Nah, we're not feeding this kid. We're not putting a roof over this kid. We're not putting clothes on this kid's back. We're not paying for this kid to go to school. You know what I mean? That I don't know. And I know that in a lot of different states, it's different. I mean, yeah, like lest we forget that she violated the court order and one of the boys got hurt. She violated the court order. She had Jake around the boys, and one of them got hurt. One of them shattered his wrist, supposedly. So where's her jail time? That's what I'd like to know. Like, somebody actually got hurt. That doesn't matter. Like, when she violated the court order, when she should have been held in contempt, a child got hurt. The exact thing that order was designed to prevent happened. So why? Thank you, Crystal. Sorry, even as much as the laws have advanced towards fathers' rights, they still don't have the same rights as moms. It's so sad. It's true. I mean, it's true, but let's face it, statistically speaking, a mom definitely has a natural instinct to care for their child and nurture their child more than a man does. It's a Darwinian thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, generally speaking, that's not to say that men don't love their kids, but in the occasion where a woman has such deep-rooted issues that she prioritizes other things in her life before her children, that put her children in some sort of physical, mental, or emotional jeopardy, well, then the father should be able to step up, prove that he's capable of taking care of the child, and then take over. Now, the courts worked in my favor to be able to do that. I didn't have these issues. I didn't have a corrupt court system. So, I mean, there is that part where I can look at this and go, well, granted, the situation was a little different, but my judge just wasn't having what she was throwing down. You know what I mean? She was pulling all kinds of craziness and showing her crazy. And the judge was on top of it and going, yeah, nah, dude. Do you think Mike will turn himself in or go more underground? I don't know. He didn't give me a straight answer, but I did ask him if he was willing to go to jail, and he did say yes. So, but he didn't give me a straight answer on this. And I have the feeling, well, welcome, Barb Jones. Glad you remember. Thank you. Yeah, I have the feeling, well, I don't know. Yeah, I have the feeling that he knew this when the Daily Mail article came out. Well, no, after. I think he found out today. Actually, if I'm thinking about it, I'm guessing that Michael found out today, and that's when he made that post. Are you guys having some semantic argument in my chat over the age of a child, and when they get to speak up for themselves in a courtroom in Texas right now? You guys gotta don't have those kind of arguments in the chat. It's really silly because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The youngest age I saw up here was 12, and Sophie's turning 11, so it doesn't matter. Yo, I gotta talk about this though. Type of one, if you listen to Rakeda Law's video, the 20-minute video about Laura Elkin, about the that other lawyer. I don't know if she's a public relations lawyer or what. I mean, listen, dude, I was cracking up. I thought it was funny because I received one of her letters too. This guy named 3 people, right? And I know other people that got them. And I got one of those letters too. But the thing is he's an attorney, so she writes this fancy schmancy, or at least an attempt to write some fancy schmancy email to him. And she still sounded like she didn't practice law. Like, even to me, I was like, what is this lady even talking about? Like, what is this lady even talking about right now? Like, it's really funny because now if she is in charge of Kelly's public image right now, like, Laura, you're not very good at your job, are you? I mean, I'm just being honest, man. Like, it doesn't look like you're doing her too many favors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, she's letterheading either that or it's some idiot. Either that or it's the best troll ever, right? And it's some idiot that, no, because it's not. It's not. I was thinking for a second, but then I just thought of something. I'm like, no, it's a real lawyer. It's a real lawyer. I mean, I use the term loosely because I just don't see, like, yeah, all I keep thinking is, wow, man, every time I hear something about her, I'm like, this woman isn't very good at what she does. She doesn't seem like it. I mean, I don't know, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Listen, it's like this, okay? You got a figure skater, all right? You got a figure skater. Kelly Long is a figure skater, okay? And social media is the ice, okay? And Laura Elkin is in charge of making sure that her skates are working good and secure. And then all I'm saying is I keep seeing Kelly slipping and sliding all over the ice. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that I keep seeing her slipping and sliding all over the ice. Not very graceful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, yeah. Like, you're not doing maybe you're doing what was taught at skate fixing school, right? Maybe, but maybe it just doesn't work for this ice is all I'm saying. You didn't factor in this ice is what you didn't do, Laura Elkin. That's the best way that I can explain it. You didn't factor in the ice. Okay. It's different. It's a different breed of ice, different type of water. Freezes a little different. I understand. Okay. I understand. But the results are what they are. That's all I'm saying. Because, she's slipping and sliding and falling on her butt, Yeah, it's real, dude. This lady talking about there's how you gonna just straight lie and send the same letter to like multiple different YouTubers, people with a platform. And one of them's a lawyer. Like, how are you gonna do that? You're gonna send just the same letter with the same lie that those court documents were sealed when they weren't. I'm gonna admit she scared me a little bit, dude. Like, I opened that email and I was like, oh my God, what's this? Oh my God. But I'm not a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it was intended for worked at first. And then I started hearing other people talk about it. And I was just like, yeah. What the heck is going on here? Yeah. So Yeah, this lady's off the chain, dude. Like, it's pretty funny. I'm telling you, man, that Daily Mail article didn't do Kelly any favors. Sure didn't. Now, I'm one of the first people to say I don't really consider that to be a credible news source. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is there's a lot of people that do. And so, I mean, that's a bad look. That's a bad look. I mean, King Duck, I don't know how much I'm not thinking there's probably, I mean, I don't know. There's no way for me to even know. But based on the actions I'm seeing a lot of desperation. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot of desperation right now. And I'm going to guess there's not a lot of money. Will, do you think Sophie would run if she gets returned to her or her aunt's care? I don't know Sophie well enough to make that assumption. I don't know. But I would assume that it's a likelihood if based on the video footage we've seen of her kicking and screaming and how adamant she is about not going with her mom and how happy she seems with her dad. You know, I would definitely entertain it as a likelihood. Personally, I would. I mean, right. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, if Sophie's acting, then Laura Elkin needs to take lessons from her because she's not very good at what she's doing. Definitely not. Because I'm not seeing anybody intimidated at all. Like, I'm being totally honest. Her entire consistent tactic this entire time has been to intimidate, right? To intimidate and target and intimidate different YouTubers. And so far she has consecutively failed miserably. Like, nobody's scared of her. Nobody. Like, like, sit down. Just sit down and shut up. I'm perfectly within my rights to be up here doing what I'm doing. I'm not breaking any gag orders. I'm not lying on nobody. Yeah. See, I mean, I see some of y'all going, keep going, Michael. I mean, I just, my thing is I can't get on board with that. You know, if it gets to a point to where law enforcement is really going to take him seriously and start treating this like an abduction, because so far they have not been treating this like any abduction. But if they do start to treat it like an abduction, I can't get behind him not turning himself in. I just can't, because I feel that puts Sophie in danger. That would definitely put Sophie in danger. I mean, he knows how I feel about it, you know, and he did come on the show. He was kind enough to come on the other day, and I thought it went really well. I wish he would have answered some questions a little more thoroughly, but I'm mostly just grateful that he took the time and then did 6 hours with Nick Rekieta. You know, I mean, for him to fit in an hour and a half for me prior to that, man, was very kind of him. He doesn't have to tell anybody what the hell he's doing. He should. It was the right thing to do. I felt that he owed us all some explanation, but he came through and he gave us that. Maybe not to our liking 100%, but for the most part, I was pretty satisfied with his answers. Whether I liked what he said or not, I felt that he was being forthcoming for the most part, but I felt that I felt that the stuff that he was shifty about and kind of seemed to be dancing around was because he really didn't know what he was going to do. I honestly think that he didn't think, I don't know what I'm going to do, if it comes to that. That was the vibe I got off of. If my daughter hated me that badly, I sure wouldn't be trying to traumatize her more each and every damn day. Erase all the details. The kid hates her mother. They should be addressing that only. I mean, right. I think that the way it should be, personally, if she's as happy as she is with her dad, she's being fed, she's healthy, then she stays with the dad and he has to agree to a reunification program with her mom. That's how I think it should be the best. That would be the best option personally. But who the hell am I? But that's what I would like to see. I mean, the thing is too, how can you blame me for coming to these conclusions when I'm seeing Kelly's actions, but I'm not hearing her speak? She's not explaining anything to anybody. She's just doing these things. She's doing these things and she's using these supposedly intimidating people to do them. And it makes her look like a thug. Partly because I've never heard her speak. I've never heard her speak out. She's trying to throw this dude in jail, but she's not coming off like she's worried about her daughter in the slightest bit because she isn't making any statements. How is pleading with your ex, someone that you know, someone that you lived with, how is pleading with him to return their child, the child that they have together, safely? How is that breaking some sort of gag order? I mean, she broke the order to let Jake around the kids, but she's not willing to break this gag order in order to plead for her children. The person that's not supposed to be with her kids, but she's breaking this, and her defense for that is we love each other and he loves those kids like they're his own, but yet never speaks out wanting Sophie's safe return. When he has the one chance to speak out publicly, he uses it to trash Michael. So that to me these are actions that I cannot ignore. Nobody would. I mean, nobody who loves their kid would. Nobody. See what I'm saying? How are we not supposed to have these opinions of Kelly? If she won't even speak up, make a public statement. Like, what's this PR firm doing? Except making her look worse. Like, if she's so concerned and she's so concerned about how she looks to the public that she's willing to pay for a firm to make her look good to the public, yet it's making her look really bad. And she has the money for this. She's just blowing money on this. Yeah, her actions seem to be spiteful towards Sophie and not like, oh my God, I just want my kid to love me. Let me do what I have to do to earn my child's respect. Let me do what I have to do. Let me respect my child's feelings and figure out what I got to do. First off, she's afraid of this guy. He's just some guy I'm dating. So why not just kick him to the curb and start getting to work on my relationship with my child? That's not happening. Why isn't that happening? Instead, it's I'm going to take her by force and I'm going to throw her father in jail, the one person that she seems to love. I mean, that just comes off as vengeance. It could have happened by accident, Steph Exton. Why is that place on? I remain respectful and I support the cause. I see numerous people posting several times, but you were probably timed out by accident. It happens. It's not a big deal. See, Cherry says it was a mistake. It's a mistake. Yeah, no, and I mean, this guy is not, Michael Long is not some professional on the run kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, so law enforcement, they'll catch him if they want to catch him. I have no doubt in my mind about that. I just worry about Sophie being with him when if they get to a point where they have to take him by force. That concerns me. That concerns me more than anything. Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then I would focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I would focus on that and be like, all right, I started a family with this guy. I still got the boys, and we'll take some steps forward and we'll get there. Not, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to grab you by your bits and pieces and squeeze you. I'm going to stick you in a hole for 150 days just because I can. I mean, that's how it comes off, man. Like, yeah, I mean, like, that's, if I was assessing that situation, I mean, okay, I got a child with this person and I got children with this other person, and I want all of the children. And I don't want her to have, or I don't want him to have anything. Like, Rexanne, thank you so much for the PayPal. I appreciate it. Right. Why isn't she worried about the animosity that's developing? Why doesn't she care about that? That's what I'm saying. Why doesn't she care about her actions affecting how her children are seeing her? Mama 4, welcome. Oh, well, thank you, Jilly C. I appreciate it. I completely agree, Lori. I completely agree. You think? You think? Yeah, I mean, that seemed to chap a lot of people's butts, man. The fact that I had Michael Long on here speaking his mind, you know, I had him answering questions too. You know what I mean? Nick had him on for 6 hours. I mean, uh, that seemed to like make people mad. And why? Why? Because somebody's speaking up? I mean, oh, welcome to Patreon, Amy. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting live. Uh, Ricada Law is going live at midnight Eastern time tonight. And I'm pretty sure he plans on going over in detail the best possible legal explanation regarding this that you're going to get. Now, I mean, it's funny because, like, and I have these, like, I recently had conversations with certain people who actually defend doxing under a First Amendment type thing, and okay, that's a fair argument. It really is, because it's not illegal. It's not illegal. But, it's really technically not illegal to be a neo-Nazi. But it kind of still makes you an asshole, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I think it's cowardly. I think it's just, messing with somebody and getting them fired from their job. That's not, be creative. Rip them to shreds on a YouTube channel, man. Make it entertaining for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you subject yourself when you come to YouTube. But you shouldn't have to sacrifice your anonymity. If that's something that you cherish, if that's something that's important to you, you shouldn't have to sacrifice your anonymity. People should respect that. But that's just my opinion. Does it fall under First Amendment stuff? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, do you have the right? Sure. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make you a POS, I mean, this guy Ken, like, he got fired from his job for simply giving his professional opinion on something on YouTube, discussing something he was passionate about. And then they lied about him and took advantage of the fact that his job was probably just going to be like, hey, whether it's true or not, it's not a good look for us. It's not a good look for you to be working for us. So you got to go. I mean, that is some low blow kick in the nuts kind of thing, man. That's throwing dirt in somebody's eyes in a fight, man. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's bringing a gun to a knife fight is what it is. I just don't think that's okay, Do I think it should be illegal? No. I think that people should have enough civil, they should have enough integrity to not do that to another YouTube creator. That's my argument. Hey, your boy Gary, what's up, dude? Hey, y'all, this your boy Gary. Boy Gary's in the house. Everybody's chill. Everybody's cool. Yeah, man. Just going to justify it because it's your First Amendment right? Come on, man, get real. Well, no, what's happening is the system, the court system right now is manipulating and basically derailing him from ever being able to show anybody that would be willing to do anything about it. 12 jurors of his peers, people who don't know anything about this, looking at that evidence, might be swayed to believe, and that would have to lead to a thorough investigation. There'd be a lot of people with something to answer for. And they don't want that to happen. At least that's my theory, because I can't think of any other reason why somebody would just for the sake of it, yank somebody's constitutional rights away. I just can't imagine that. It doesn't make sense to me. There's got to be a motive behind that. There's got to be a motive where a judge who's sworn to protect every individual's constitutional rights takes an oath and he just rips it away from this man. I mean, behind every action that's that extreme. I mean, because that's an extreme action. I don't care what you say. That is an extremely bold move, is to blatantly deny someone their Sixth Amendment rights and throw them in jail. That is a bold move. So, I mean, there has to be a motive behind that. Common sense dictates that to me, that there has to be a motive behind that. Being a true crime follower dictates that to me, that there has to be a motive behind that. Yeah. That's what it looks like anyway. I'm not saying that's exactly the case. I'm saying it looks that way. It's very easy for Michael to make his argument. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Their actions are doing that, not Michael's actions. Their actions are the ones doing that. I went over the Sixth Amendment earlier. You're going to have to watch the replay. But okay. The Sixth Amendment basically dictates that you have the right to an attorney and you have a right to due process. You have the right to a jury of your peers to convict you. And Michael was just convicted and sentenced by this judge. And he even had to put a motion. He had to submit a motion for a jury trial. Michael had to submit a motion for that, which should just be a given. But he had to submit a motion, and then the judge denied the motion. What's up, Emerson Blue? I haven't seen you in forever. I mean, that's the motive that makes the most sense, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the case. They have a right to prove their case too. That would have to be proven. in a court of law. They have that right as well. But what I'm saying is that's the way it looks. And it's not a good look. I mean, that's a possibility. He might do that. I wouldn't put it past him to do that. But I don't know if I can get behind that either. You know, I don't know if I can get behind that. Well, he's got to be able to make phone calls. He's got to be able to be allowed to make phone calls. But again, that's his right. So, I mean, his rights are being stripped up from him now. So what's the difference if he's in jail? Yeah, that is absolutely true. I totally agree with that. Yeah, man. This is real messy, dude. This is real messy. I don't even know what to think of it. Yeah, you guys have been fantastic tonight, by the way. I really appreciate everybody being cool in chat. Now, when I went live earlier, there was a couple of dummies, you know. When I went live earlier today, it was a couple of dummies, but you know, I mean, that's bound to happen. So that's why, you know, expressing to you guys right now how cool you've been, and I got to tell you, I appreciate it. Yo, so off the subject, man, totally off the subject. What's going on with Johnny Depp, bro? Did Johnny Depp just get like a major win or what? I haven't been paying attention. I know you Johnny Depp fans out there, man. The people in the Johnny Depp community right now are all about this whole thing. And now Amber Heard, from what I understand, somebody just told me, is that she has to prove that money went to charity, and if she can't prove it, then she's screwed. She's done. Is that what's going on here? That he got that he won that in court? Because man, Jerry K. Yeah, so dude, I try to keep it a chill vibe. I get a little hype sometimes, man. You know, I get a little hype, but I'm in a chill vibe mood tonight, actually. You could probably see in my eyes. But yeah, I you know, I mean, what's funny is this situation makes me mad, you know, but I feel like I'm in a chill vibe because like it's so blatantly obvious that all this needs to do is just get the right amount of attention. That's all it takes. You know, now that could be difficult, but it seems to be happening. If all these tabloid people are getting a hold of this story. You know, I mean, and stuff like this keeps happening. People's rights are basically being just stripped. You're trying to shut up YouTubers, lying, threatening them with a letterhead from a law firm. Yo, Nick, ending that video at the end. With respect, Laura Elkin. Yeah, it was a beautiful ending, and I applauded. I said, "Yep, there you go, there you go." Yeah, man. Like those are times where I get, where I have those little insecurity issues where I'm like, man, I should have made better decisions. I mean, because I still have those sweet moments from, once in a while, but you know what I'm saying? Like only a lawyer could do that to another lawyer. You know what I mean? And that was just like, ooh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like Superman went rogue and just started shooting heat vision at everybody. And then Batman shows up in his kryptonite Iron Man suit, ready to beat. You know what I'm saying? That's what that. that's how that came off. It was really funny. I laughed. I laughed really, really hard. I was like, man. I mean, I'm telling you, like I told Michael and Courtney a year ago that they need to get the attention of an investigative journalist that's willing to take on all of this and make a documentary film out of it. Like, I honestly think that a decent, talented filmmaker could take all the facts of this case and all of the drama that's taken place on YouTube and everything, and make a quality documentary film that will raise questions. I truly, honestly believe that. I really wish that word would spread enough to where that happens. Dude, Road King, have you ever read a comic book, dude? Are you seriously trying to have this conversation with me right now? Are you trying to have this? You can't even spell Superman, and there's no space between bat and man. All right? Sorry to do that to you because I love you, but you already lost the argument with me, okay? You already lost the argument. I just explained, dude. I just explained. Superman didn't know how to fight. He just got powers, dude. He didn't do any training, combat training. Batman's been training his whole life, dog. His whole life. Now, if you just like take away his power, or you make your power at least somewhat equal to his by having that kryptonite powered suit, well then, dude, I don't care that Superman can fly. Batman can fly too with a plane. Superman's a reporter growing up on a farm on Smallville, dude. Man was eating cornflakes for breakfast. Dude, he can't afford, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't match Batman's budget. Batman's always going to have money to create something. Dude, he's got Lucius Fox up there using the old noodle down there in the basement of Wayne Enterprises, using the old noodle to create dope stuff. He says, oh, Batman can do this. Batman can't do this. Well, guess what? It's real easy, dude. It's real easy. He hides weapons. Stashes them behind lead because Superman can't see through lead, dog. Okay? You guys, it's just too easy. I'm not even a billionaire genius master detective. And I already figured out how to beat Superman. All I need is a little kryptonite. You don't think Bruce Wayne can afford some kryptonite? Come on, y'all. Use your noggins. Use your noggins. Punisher can't beat Batman, dude. Batman fights badasses with guns all night, bro. All night. Punisher is a Saturday. All right? Punisher is a Saturday for Batman. Frank Castle is a Saturday for Bruce Wayne, dude. I love Punisher too, though. I do love Punisher. Don't get me wrong. Yo, that Netflix series, man, they killed it. They really got that character the right, man. That was amazing. It's a good story too. What was it? 3 seasons? I watched all of them. Like I rewatched all of them, like maybe like I don't know, a month ago. What in the wow? Wow. Rachel, I don't want to say your last name because I don't want to dox you, but thank you so much for that PayPal. It's a very generous one. I don't want to say exactly how much it was, but it was very generous and it's very, very helpful. So thank you, Rachel. And thank you for the kind. Let me read it. I hope you're doing okay with your depression and your job situation. I enjoy all of your live streams and appreciate you standing up for what you feel is right. Keep doing what you're doing. And hold on. Sorry, the message cut off. I want to finish reading it. Keep doing what you're doing. Please keep this donation anonymous. Thank you. Hope all is well. Well, I only said the first name. I never read the last names on those kind of things. So, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's funny where it cut off and I already started reading it. Yeah, she says to keep it anonymous, but yeah, and I'm not saying how much it was, but it was very generous and it was very kind. And all of the donations tonight have been very generous and very kind. And I'm just grateful that you guys even just enjoy the channel and listen to me just blab on and on about stuff. That's a hell of a thing. And it's something to be no less than absolutely 100% grateful for. I'm not entitled to your donations in any way, shape, or form, and I am not even entitled to your attention. So the fact that you guys enjoy this as much as I do means everything to me. So I really appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you, Mama 4. I appreciate that. This is R&B beta funny. Superman was beaten by the elimination of phone booths, but Batman keeps up with the times. I mean, ever since the phone booths, I mean, he's been able to, he's Superman, I mean, I'm not trying to shake a stick at Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, Superman's awesome. He really is. But when you compare him to Batman, I'm going to make him look this big. You know what I mean? I'm just always going to do that. I'm just always going to do it. And yeah, my Patreon, my Patreon Discord right now is talking about Suicide Squad. So before I log off, since we're talking about that, the Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn saved that franchise. He might have even saved the entire DCU with that movie. It is that good. It is that good. It is absolutely that good. It was hilarious, lots of action, super violent. And I mean, and it was hilarious. It was just so funny. It was so funny. Idris Elba was great. Even John Cena. The funny thing about John Cena, I was like, I'm looking at the preview and I'm just like, why does he look so stupid? You know, why does he look like that? John Cena's character. And I'm just like, I already don't like John Cena. But what they did was genius. They made exactly why I don't like John Cena. They kind of exaggerated it in this fun way. It's almost like they got John Cena to do an impression of what Kurt Angle used to be in the WWE. It was almost like that. And I loved it. It was so good. He was so unlikable that he was likable. So I absolutely love the Suicide Squad, man. And I was all surprised too, because I thought it was just going to be released in theaters, you know. But I mean, HBO Max, it's on there right now. If you got HBO Max, it's on there right now. And it was so good. It was so good. It was really, really funny. You know what? I wasn't a Hulk fan, Road King, until the Avengers movie. I liked the Hulk. Don't get me wrong. I liked him, but somehow they made him the most fascinating character in the whole movie. And that's just good writing. You know what I mean? It's just good writing. And I think James Gunn wrote that too. I might be wrong. But I mean, man, did Marvel drop the ball by getting rid of him, dude? Woo. Yeah, DCU totally took advantage, man. And well done. Well done. Anyways, guys, I am going to call it. Guys, thank you so much. I love you very much. And we will do this again very, very soon, my friends.